there when it comes to the favourites, but still behind Spain right now. All right, why are Spain favourites? Because in World Cup play, they actually haven't passed the last 16 since 2010 when they went on to win it. Is it the players that they've got now that puts them at the top of the pile?
Are you asking me or are you asking
just
the French
quickly
squad?
Before we get to the Frenchies.
Well, we just got to
All
the
right,
French
we'll get
squad.
to
the French
we'll go to the French players. Now that we've got the squad up, let's talk about the roster here. No Camavinga, that was one of the big omissions. Jules, anything else that really stood out from this squad?
No, I think the big miss is Hugo Ekitike, who I think would have not just been part of this squad, but would have started the first game at the World Cup on that left-hand side of the 4-2-3-1. And unfortunately, that injury suffered against PSG means that he's not there. And even without him, when you saw that forwards list, it's really impressive. I don't think there's any other country in the world that has this kind of attacking power. The starters to start with, whether it's Dembele, Olise and Mbappe, they're locked in with a Barcola or Doué or Cherki on the left-hand side. But even on the bench, you know, Akliouche is a wonderful talent. Marcus Thuram starts to have good experience and he's really solid to come on late. Even a Jean-Philippe Mateta, who's maybe one of the surprises, inclusion for Deschamps in there, as we saw in the Conference League final on Wednesday night, can come on for the last 10 minutes and bring something very different. And suddenly those kind of different profiles outside of the starting front four just bring you, again, versatility, different options, variation in your play and what you can give the opposition, really. And I think that this French squad is stacked everywhere, offensively and defensively. For me, Upamecano Saliba is the strongest centre-back partnership in the whole competition.
Do you feel as confident as Jules does, Frank?
Yes, I am. And it's only fair that Spain is in front of France because of what they've done lately and all the competition that the competition they won lately as well. But it's going to be a very tight competition, and many other teams can also show themselves and surprise everybody. And I really think that Portugal has something to say, and also England. So let's see how it works. It's a competition. How you start, how you handle it, it's a X factor, and we don't know what's going to happen. But surely, offensively, I'm with Jules, and I won't name the names again. But that's incredible.
But you have given us a possible 11, though, Frank.
Yes, and it's I had some question marks, you know, about the left side because everybody sees Theo Hernandez or Lucas. I don't know. I think it's going to be Theo Hernandez, but I prefer Dini. I like Dini. The way he was playing this season, defensively, he's always doing something good, and offensively, I like his left foot. Otherwise, no surprises. There's going to be a challenge for Deschamps between Upamecano and Konate, but according to the season, I think Upamecano has a light advantage. For sure, Saliba is going to play, Koundé on the right side. I went for Kante. I don't know, there is something, just a spirit, maybe a weakness in my heart for N'Golo Kante, because he's the kind of engine that I don't want to see on the bench. And of course, at front, I tried to make sure that everybody could play, but how dare I can put Olise on the number 10, where he has been so good on the right side. But if I do that, where do I put Dembele? Do I put Mbappe on the bench and Dembele number 9 and I put Cherki on number 10? That's insane. So that's for me the 4 we should start, and let's see how it works. There is not one national team coach. He's Didier Deschamps, and I'm sure he's going to find the right recipe to do well.
Look at these first world problems from Frank. Where do I put Olise?
One of the best players on the planet. What am I going to do?
I think, to that point, I think that works in France's favour in this extended format. I think how deep your squad is plays a part. In my opinion, France and Spain are the 2 best teams going into this tournament. Spain favourites for the bookies because, as France mentioned, what they do in the Euros and that fairly young attack of 2 years ago all of a sudden is a little bit more mature. I'm not sure how you say that about 18-year-old Lamine Yamal, but they are. But I think when it comes to squad quality, squad depth, France just pipped the Spanish in that regard. And so, big reveal, they're my favourites, Kay.
France are your favourites?
France are my favourites.
All right.
What about you, Ali?
Well, to your point about squad depth, I think France are the only team in this World Cup that you could pick two separate starting 11, and you put them on different sides of the bracket, and both starting 11s would make it at least to the quarterfinals. That's how talented I think this group is. So for me, France's biggest rival is France. It's France. If they can get out of their own way and just allow some of these players to really showcase what they're capable of, on paper, they are stronger than everybody else, and that includes Spain, because of the depth of France. I don't think Spain has that sort of depth. Certainly they don't have that sort of depth in the back line, and they don't have that sort of depth in the midfield area. They do have a lot of talented players, of course, in the attacking third, but I just look at France and they just have everything that you would want out of a team coming into a tournament. Identity, structure, talent, individual talent, group talent, how they work together, how they're able to match in terms of speed against other teams on the outside, 1v1 situations, defending 1v1 situations, pressing in the midfield. That's an area that perhaps you could exploit against France if indeed you get a team like Spain that can dominate the midfield because of the quality of players they have in that area. But outside of that, if you look on paper, and again, this is all on paper, you have to play the games, there's no argument to be made against France. You can make arguments for others if you so desire, but to make an argument against France is foolish given what they have available. And given what they have available, it's better than what everybody else has available.
Yes, okay. Jules, are your kids as convicted with England and France?
No, they could not care less about England.
The guys will
You
say you
better,
taught them
man.
well. Yeah, the guys will say, well, you're saving them some heartache, no doubt there, Jules. That's good parenting. All right, good stuff. Make sure to be with us all summer because we will have you covered with 2 shows a day. But we did mention Jean-Philippe Mateta there. Well, actually, Frank did. So that brings us on to talking about Crystal Palace. It was obviously the Frenchman whose goal won the Conference League Cup for them against Rayo Vallecano. And now Oliver Glasner will be leaving on a high. But look at these scenes.
Oh, all right.
What a couple of years it's been for Crystal Palace, eh? Oliver Glasner leaving on quite the high, leaving quite the legacy as well. But his name is now one of a handful that we are seeing linked with the Milan job now that Max Allegri has gone. You can see Marco Silva, Chiellini, Mauricio Pochettino, get to that. Ruben Amorim, Felipe Luis, Xavi Hernandez, Andoni Iraola, although the word is, he said he's not interested in the project right now. So let's get into this, because it's Pochettino I want to